It's 2026. You don't remember your bank password. You don't remember your email login. You barely even remember your social security number. Why would you? You have a face. You have a thumb. You have a voice. We've all been sold a dream, the frictionless life. We're told that biometrics are the ultimate security because you are unique. But here's the cold, hard truth. We touched on this last week. Convenience is the enemy of security. Today, we're peeling back the skin on biometric data. We're talking about why your biology is the weakest link in your digital defense, and why, in a world of generative AI, your face is no longer a secret. I'm Pseudo, and this is Impractical Privacy. Let's talk about the undo button. In IT, we live and die by the Control-Z. If your password is leaked in a massive data breach, like the ones we see every other week now, you just reset it. It's a 30-second fix. You generate a new string of random characters or a diceware phrase, and the old password becomes a useless pile of digital garbage. But biometrics, they are immutable. They are permanent. They are a biological serial number. If a hacker steals the biometric template of your iris from a secure server at your high-end gym, or your office's new frictionless entry system, what's your move? You can't exactly go out and buy new eyeballs. You can't rotate your fingerprints like you rotate a 16-character password. Once that biological key is out there, it's out there forever. Now, let's look at the 2026 reality check. This year, we've seen a massive, dangerous shift towards what I call centralized biometric honeypots. Companies are rushing to replace traditional passwords with what they claim are secure biometric hashes. They tell you, don't worry, we don't store your actual face, just a mathematical representation of it. But here's the kicker. Hashes are not a magic shield. In 2026, researchers have already demonstrated that these hashes can be reverse engineered using inverse biometrics. An attacker can take that mathematical string and reconstruct a digital version of your face or fingerprint that is accurate enough to fool other sensors. Let that sink in for a moment. And then there's the legal pressure. Think about the age assurance laws that have gone into full effect this year. In certain countries, to access social media, certain news sites, and even some shopping platforms, you are being forced to perform a liveness face scan. You aren't giving that scan to the website you're visiting. You're giving it to a third-party identity verifier. Suddenly, your biometric signature isn't just safely tucked away in your phone's secure enclave. It's sitting in a database owned by a VC-backed startup that might go bankrupt or get acquired by a data broker in 2 years. When that data leaks, and let's be real, in this industry, it's not if, it's when, your identity is compromised for the rest of your life. There's no forgot fingerprint leak. There's no reset retina button. We are trading a lifetime of security for 3 seconds of convenience. Is that a trade you're actually ready to make? Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Pseudo, I've got the latest Pixel or iPhone. My face data is locked in a secure enclave. It never leaves the device, it's encrypted, and even the OS can't touch it. And you're right, hardware level security is better than it's ever been. But the threat has pivoted. Hackers aren't trying to break into your phone's vault anymore. They're just waiting at the door. We've officially entered the era of digital injection attacks. In 2024 and 2025, we saw the low-tech versions, the deepfakes used for social engineering. But in 2026, we're seeing synthetic identity fraud on a scale that is actually starting to break the global financial system. According to the 2026 Identity Fraud Report, these digital injection attempts surged by 40% in just the last year alone. Here's how it works. Instead of a fraudster holding a high-res photo or a 3D mask in front of a physical camera, they use virtual camera injections. They bypass the physical sensor entirely. They use malicious software to inject a high-fidelity, AI-generated stream of you directly into the app's data flow. To the bank's server, everything looks perfect. It sees a live human. The lighting is dynamic. The eyes are blinking. The mouth is moving in sync with the prompted passphrases. But there's no human. It's just code. And where do they get the raw materials to build this digital you? From the very things we do every day. Generative AI in 2026 only needs 1 or 2 high-res photos from your Instagram to map your 468-point facial mesh. It only needs a 30-second clip of your voice from a podcast like this, or a YouTube video, or a spam call where you said hello to create a clone with 95% accuracy. When your password is based on things that are publicly observable and can be recorded from a distance, it's not a secret anymore. It's a broadcast. We've moved from something you know to something you are. And unfortunately, what you are is now something that can be downloaded, cloned, and injected by anyone with a decent GPU. The final danger we need to address isn't just about shadowy hackers. It's about the slow creep of normalized surveillance. We are watching the death of the public anonymous in real time. It started with unlocking our phones, then badging into our offices. But now, it's being baked into the very places we buy our groceries. Take a look at the Whole Foods palm scanner, also known as Amazon One. For a few years, Amazon pushed this as the ultimate frictionless experience. You don't even need your phone. You just hovered your hand over a sensor and your palm signature, a map of the surface ridges and the unique vein patterns underneath, was linked to your debit or credit card. But here's the 2026 update. As of June 3rd, 2026, Amazon is actually discontinuing Amazon One at retail businesses and ripping the scanners out of over 500 Whole Food locations. Why? Officially, they say limited consumer adoption. But the real story is much deeper. This is a classic case of engineering versus governance. Amazon proved the tech worked. It was fast and hard to spoof. But they ran into a wall of social friction. People realized that while a phone stores your biometrics locally in a secure enclave, Amazon One was uploading those palm signatures into the AWS cloud. This created what I call the radioactive data problem, once your palm is a payment method, it's no longer just a convenience. It's a financial credential that you can never change. If that cloud database is ever breached, you can't get a new palm. Amazon essentially realized that the liability of holding millions of permanent biological keys on their servers wasn't worth the 3 seconds of time saved at the checkout counter. But don't let the removal of these scanners fool you into thinking that the threat is gone. Even as the palm scanners disappear, we're seeing the rise of Gait analysis. Some retailers are moving towards AI that identifies you by the unique rhythm of your walk, the length of your stride, and the tilt of your shoulders. You can wear a mask or sunglasses to hide from the camera, but you can't easily change the way your skeleton moves. In 2026, the right to be anonymous is on life support. We're building a world where you are logging in just by existing in a physical space. Your biometric data is being turned into a universal tracker that links your online browsing history to your physical body. Is a slightly faster grocery run really worth being a walking, breathing data point for the rest of your life? When the world becomes one giant biometric sensor, privacy isn't just a setting anymore. It's a rebellion. We've spent all of this episode talking about the physical you. Your face, your thumb, your palm, your voice. Things you can see in the mirror. But there's a second, much more invisible layer of biometrics that's quietly taking over in 2026. It's called behavioral biometrics, and it's the ghost in the machine. Think about the way you're holding your phone right now. The exact angle of the tilt. The pressure you apply with your thumb when you scroll. The specific millisecond delay between how you type the letter A and the letter S. In 2026, major banks and platforms are no longer just checking your password. They are continuously authenticating you based on your behavioral profile. This is sold to us as a massive security win. It's called continuous authentication. The idea is that even if a hacker gets your password and your face scan, they can't mimic the exact subconscious rhythm of how you interact with your device. If the ghost in the phone doesn't match your profile, the session locks instantly. But here's the privacy nightmare. You can never turn this off. Unlike Face ID, which requires you to look at the sensor, behavioral biometrics happen in the background of apps that you use. It is a constant, silent ping of your neurological and physical habits. This year, we're seeing this data being used for more than just security. We're seeing risk scoring, where an insurance app might analyze the steadiness of your hand to make assumptions about your health. Or a workplace app analyzing your typing cadence to see if you're becoming unproductive or stressed. We are entering an era where your very existence, the way you move, think, and react, is being harvested as a digital credential. When we turn our subconscious habits into passwords, we aren't just securing our accounts. We're giving away the last few inches of our private, unobserved lives. If you thought a leaked fingerprint was bad, wait until a data broker has a map of your nervous system. So, after all that, what's the move? Do we go back to the analog days, carrying around 500-page notebooks of handwritten passwords? No. We cannot hide from the future. But we have to stop treating our bodies like they are an unhackable vault. We need to shift our mindset from convenience back to control. Here's your 2026 Impractical Privacy checklist for reclaiming your biological identity. First, treat biometrics as a username, not a password. Think of your face or fingerprint as the way you tell a device who you are, the username. But for the authentication, the actual password, you need something the world can't see. I've mentioned this several times. I carry one myself. It goes everywhere with me. In 2026, the gold standard is hardware-bound passkeys. You use your face to unlock your phone and a physical security key like a YubiKey to unlock your accounts. That way, even if a hacker injects a synthetic version of your face into a server, they still don't have the physical piece of plastic in your pocket. Second is to audit your biometric permissions like a hawk. Go into your phone's settings tonight. On both Android and iOS, look for privacy and security, and then biometrics. You'll be shocked at how many random apps, from mobile games to calculators, have requested permission to use your Face ID or fingerprint. If an app doesn't strictly need to verify your identity for a financial transaction, revoke that access. Force them to use a standard PIN. Third is to opt out of centralized scans. Whenever you encounter a new age assurance or identity verification gate on a website, look for the fine print. Many of these services are legally required to offer a manual alternative, like a standard ID upload or a video call with a human. It takes an extra 2 minutes, but it keeps your 3D facial mesh out of a third-party startup's database. Fourth is to know your rights. The law is finally catching up. This year, states like Indiana, Kentucky, and Rhode Island have joined Illinois and Colorado in passing comprehensive privacy laws. In Colorado, for example, the law now specifically requires companies to give you a clear opt-out for biometric processing and mandates they delete your data within 24 months of your last interaction. If a company won't tell you how they store your face or how you can delete it, walk away. Now, for my international listeners, you actually have some of the most powerful tools in your pocket to fight back against this biometric creep. While the US is still a patchwork of state laws, other parts of the world are drawing very firm red lines. The EU and AI Act of 2026. If you're in the European Union, the EU AI Act has officially hit full stride this year. It doesn't just suggest privacy. It bans certain unacceptable risks. For example, the untargeted scraping of facial images from the internet or CCTV to create facial recognition databases, illegal. Emotion recognition in your workplace or school, banned. If a company tries to use your biometrics to categorize you by race, religion, or political leaning, they're facing fines of up to 35 million euros, or 7% of their global turnover. You have a right to demand a human in the loop for any high-risk automated decision. The UK's digital identity shift. Over in the UK, the ICO has been cracking down on shadow AI, where companies use your biometric data without clear, transparent policies. They've recently updated their guidance to make it clear. If a company can't prove that scanning your face is strictly necessary and proportionate, they shouldn't be doing it. You have the right to lodge a complaint. And in 2026, they are fast-tracking these investigations to be resolved within months, not years. Australia's privacy reform. For my listeners down under, the Privacy Act just got a major facelift. The OAIC is currently running compliance sweeps literally walking into businesses to see if they are collecting your identity documents and biometrics fairly. Under the new APP 1.7 rules, if a computer program is using your personal data to make a major decision about your life, the company must be transparent with how that tech works. You have a growing right to be forgotten. Use it to tell these companies to purge your biometric templates. Canada and Bill C-27. Up north, Canada is finalizing the Artificial Intelligence and Data Act. It's treating biometrics as high-impact data. This means Canadian companies are now legally required to proactively identify the harms, like bias or data leaks, before they even deploy a biometric system. If they can't prove it's safe, they can't use it. Wherever you are in the world, the trend is clear. The Wild West of biometric data is ending. You have the right to ask, why do you need this? Where is it stored? And how do I delete it? If they can't give you a straight answer, they don't deserve your data. Your face belongs to you. Your voice belongs to you. Your unique rhythm of walking through this world belongs to you. Don't trade the permanent you for a 3-second shortcut at a vending machine or a grocery store kiosk. If you found value in today's deep dive into the biometric trap, consider supporting the mission. The show is 100% independent and listener supported, which means I don't answer to corporate sponsors or data brokers. I don't run ads, and if you listen on impracticalprivacy.com, that site contains exactly 0 trackers built into it. To help keep Impractical Privacy ad-free and help me continue researching the front lines of digital rights, head over to Patreon. Big fan members get access to extra episodes and entry into our private community of privacy advocates. If you can't support financially, you can still make a massive impact. Follow the show on your favorite podcast app and share this episode with at least one person who still uses a palm scanner. Word of mouth is the only way we outrun the algorithms. Stay private, and thanks for being part of the fold. Next week, we're going to talk a lot about Graphene OS and the news coming out of Motorola, so tune in next week for a deep dive on that. I'm Pseudo, and this is Impractical Privacy. Stay secure, stay private, and for the love of God, stop scanning your retinas for free loyalty points. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and one last thing before you go. Why do browsers hate gossip? Because they always try to clear the cache before the rumors spread.